Welcome back to the Wrestling Bubble. Today we're going to talk about the Glamour, Blake Monroe, aka, or excuse me, formerly known as Mariah May. So, this episode of NXT wasn't that good. Like, it was just kind of an average show. It moved things along for certain individuals in the company. So we decided to focus on Blake Monroe and the women's division as a whole, and how she may have an effect on the women's division and what that means for everyone else.
Some people's gonna be future endeavor
Why do you say that?
because they're not standing out. Blake Monroe already stand out just based off her video package. You know, she's still that same glamorous character she was in AEW. You see the whole towel tease and everything, and she's still bringing the NXT. Like, she's gonna shake some things up. She might even do some. Y'all know she don't mind getting a little dirty with blood. But then my biggest thought is, who's gonna be her first opponent?
Well, if
'Cause
you had to
next-
pick three people,
I will have to say people who probably needs a little more attention. I would start off with Jordan Grace because the crowd's still not behind her. You know, she's still in NXT. She was a big deal in Royal Rumble, and then when she come to NXT, it's like, oh, Jordan's here, yay.
okay, who would be the second?
Who else needs a good? I would say maybe Kalani Jordan because no, why?
Blake Monroe is above that.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree.
She can go
She above that.
and
That's why I started by saying people who needs some type of
right,
she
but
already
you don't
good.
put her with no Kalani Jordan.
Then who would you put her with?
JC Jane, Jordan maybe.
JC Jane. Is
I'd
gonna
say
be
Jordan because Jordan can be the baby face, you know, and
Jordan needs to be a heel because she.
yeah, but you can't put two
heels.
heels against each other.
Well-
I mean, JC is a heel, sure, but she's also the champ.
Right.
So there's
Well-
that, and also against Blake Monroe, it's like, okay, who can be the bigger heel? So this would actually kind of challenge JC Jane's, status as a heel, and make her. This would actually do wonders for JC Jane because the character work, the promos, etc. It would only elevate her between these two women.
I feel like also when she go against JC Jane, she shouldn't win because it's just gonna be a repeat when Stephanie Vaquer.
Well, she
won.
has an out with Fallon
Right.
Henley and
Right,
Jasmine
exactly.
Nix.
So
Okay,
let's keep
and
it like
also I would say Jada Parker.
I definitely could see Jada Parker going head to head with Blake Monroe.
Look, because here we go, another woman coming in the
Right.
company, skipping the line, thinking she blah blah. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, and
That's
Jada
what
Parker, that's another chance, like I said, for promos, in ring, character work.
I also could see her going head to head with Fallon Henley. Just the fact, their whole group started because they got tired of like so-called rookies, newbies coming in and just skipping the line and everything. So adding Blake Monroe, she will definitely be in a good feud with like Fallon, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix.
I'd actually like to see her up against Sol Ruka or Zarya. We know Sol's been there for like 5 years.
Yes, so
okay.
she's time for her.
And although she's a North American champion, she's a name, right? Like and people are behind her. She's a baby face. You got Zarya there as her muscle. That it's like you got to get through me to get to her. So, I mean, there's a couple different women that are either at the top of the card or just like right there, like a Sol Ruka. So I could see like maybe her having at least 3 to 4 feuds before she moves up to the main roster.
I'm telling you, Kalani might be one of them. Because
I just don't.
I agree, but it's like I still don't understand Kalani's whole character, but it's like she's just tired of being looked over, is what I'm understanding.
She's trying to be a tough baby face.
Man, tough,
That's all.
tiny
Like,
baby
well,
face.
I mean, but regardless, she's like a never back down baby face, and she
Mhm.
finally kind of is growing a spine. That's
Right.
all it is. She's not heel.
Nope.
She's just a baby face that's like not gonna be pushed over anymore or taken advantage of type. You know what I mean? She's like learning to stand up for herself and take opportunities, at will. So
we'll have to
I
see.
honestly think they're gonna have Kalani Jordan versus Lash Legend before they ever get to Kalani
that
Jordan
which
and
is
Blake
actually
Monroe.
going to be happening next week because as Ava announced, pretty much they are doing a one-on-one matches next week, and then they're going to do a fatal four-way match, I believe, at an NXT Great American Bash to determine who's going to go against JC Jane.
I'm glad you remember what she said because she's so boring
I
whenever she
know.
talks.
I was like,
lifeless,
what
no
was she saying?
personality.
No.
Are you even The Rock's daughter? What the hell?
God. What the hell? But at the end of the day, I am so happy for Blake Monroe for making it to WWE. Her first stop is NXT. She is obviously not going to be there long. You know, like everyone pretty much should know by now. It's just for her to learn the ropes and everything. She's already a big name. And honestly, when she goes to the main roster, I know there's been rumors that they're trying to put her on SmackDown. No. Because they want her with Charlotte Flair and possibly Alexa Bliss. No.
God, keep her away from Alexa Bliss. We don't need her involved in none of that weird stuff. No. I could see Charlotte. I mean, but honestly, Blake Monroe is her own woman.
Exactly.
Like, she don't have to be in a group or attached to have best friends or allies or none of that. Like, she's the type, okay, you let her in your group's going to end up being destroyed. Because you can't trust Blake Monroe to save your life. She slapped her own mom on an AEW pay-per-view. Okay.
What? And that is a shakeup that someone like her would really will shake up the women division, showing the disrespect, showing like I'm higher, superior, you're my peasants kind of thing. Yeah, we got Charlotte Flair, but let's be honest, Blake Monroe's going to show it better.
Yeah. I mean, and she's fully committed to her character. She can talk. She's got the look. She can wrestle really good. Look, NXT about to get a rude awakening, but they cannot get her to the main roster fast enough. Like we already saw what she could bring in AEW, and I've seen some of her New Japan work or Stardom, whatever. But yeah, Blake Monroe, huge addition to the women's division at NXT. And I think a lot of women are gonna be elevated or benefit from her being in the division now.
Oh, most definitely. And then let's say they do put her on SmackDown, it will help people like I'll say Jade Cargill, because she's her and Julia might run it back because I'm pretty sure they had a little
yeah, eventually. But I think Jade would be really good. I think Bianca, of course.
Yeah.
I think eventually you get to her and Rhea Ripley, but that's like further down the line.
I mean,
no, I'm talking about like as far as I'm just talking in general main roster. Because those brands will always switch. Like some people probably switch over by the time she gets up there, anyways.
True.
So just big picture main roster. Rhea, Stephanie, Bianca. Who am I forgetting?
Ooh, I would like to see that.
Yeah, probably Asuka. EO, definitely. I know there's one more person I'm forgetting right now. I don't want to say Naomi because I don't.
Ooh, can you imagine her and Liv Morgan?
There you go, Liv Morgan. Yeah, Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
Like, man, okay. We see the women's division improving based off of some of these new hires and the call-ups. Okay, what's going on with the men's division? That's another video.
That would definitely be another video because the women's division is stacked right now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And just adding Blake Monroe just made it I'm pretty sure they're going to add more, but that's like a cherry right there.
Look, let me tell you something. And honestly, it goes from Evolve all the way to the main roster. I'm looking at you, Callie Armstrong.
How strong?
Armstrong. Look, there is some talent in Evolve, and they're getting funneled up to NXT. NXT's going to the main roster. The women are looking great, but we got to do the same for the men. There are some men coming from Evolve that are gonna be going to NXT. Keanu Carver, Harlem Lewis. You got the Swipe Right or Vanity Project, like everybody in those groups. Sean Legacy, Cappuccino Jones.
Cappuccino Jones is like we watched a little bit of Evolve with Cappuccino Jones. That dude, why is he involved? There's a lot of them that's like, why are you involved?
Well, that's another video as well.
Of course.
So anyways, that'll probably do it for this video. If you like the video, actually click the button. Comment below. Let us know what you think about Blake Monroe. Do you like the name? The Glamour Blake Monroe, a.k.a. formerly known as Mariah May. Did you like this episode of NXT? For us, it was average at best. Although we understood that it just progressed certain storylines, introduced us to a new character, the Glamour Blake Monroe. It got the job done, but it wasn't must see, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, that'll do it for this video. You got anything you want to say?
No, like you said, make sure you like, subscribe. We are having a goal to reach 500 subscribers. So we'll really appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe to the Wrestling Bubble, TWB. And also leave a comment what you think about Mariah May's new name, Blake Monroe. Once again, this is the Wrestling Bubble, TWB.